She is riding a jet ski onto your music obsession playlist. Yes, Njomza is here in studio with us now. You just saw her in the blue wig in that music video, and now she's here. Njomza, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, girl, I gotta tell you, I'm in the presence of a true talent right now, a talent that I don't think people know enough about. You, we just saw you there, singer, songwriter, have written, guys, wait for it, have co-written Thank You Next and Seven Rings. How wild has like the past couple months been for you being a part of all that?
It's been crazy. I mean, it was such a fast process. Like, it happened so quickly. We made the songs like in end of September, October, and now here we are with the #1 record in the country months later. It's
amazing.
Insane.
I saw you posted on Instagram, I think, like, woke up this morning and 2 songs that I co-wrote are in the top 5 on Billboard. What is that moment like for you?
I mean, it's insane. It's something that I've always like dreamt of achieving, and so it's just really surreal being in the moment. I feel like it still hasn't hit me that something that big just happened to me.
Oh my God! It's we were just kind of talking. We're both from like the same areas of Chicago,
right?
You know, live in North Hollywood. Or do you feel sort of like you're on the precipice of like, I've been working so hard and now I'm about to go over this top layer and really hit it?
Yeah, I think this is like, it's just something, like I said, it's something I've been working towards my entire life, and I still feel like it's just the beginning stages of my career. It's just getting me excited to keep going. I feel like the opportunities are kind of limitless at this point.
I mean, have you been getting a lot of calls after working
the phone
with Ariana
is blowing
Grande?
up a little bit.
Anybody who you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just heard from this person, I want to work with them?
Nothing that crazy yet. I'm still like working towards that, but mainly it's just for me, I'm super focused right now on writing my own music and putting my own music out and focusing on that.
So you're writing, you're singing. If you had to pick, is there one that really truly is your passion where you want to continue?
Yeah, I think it's definitely being an artist. I mean, that's what it was my whole entire life. It was always just me writing my own songs. This whole songwriting thing kind of happened on accident. This is like actually my first placement like as a songwriter with Ariana Grande. So it's really, I'm really new to writing for other people, but I'm not mad at it. It was a really awesome experience, like just diving into somebody else's world, for sure.
So when you're writing your own stuff, what are you drawing inspiration from?
My real life, usually heartbreak. I write about that a lot. Like inner turmoil, just like insecurities, whatever I'm feeling, honestly, I'll go in that day and write about that. So yeah, it's all very just current, what I'm feeling.
So if we want to pull that music video up again, so this is for Vacation, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So this is out now. Why Vacation? Tell us what this song's about, the vibe of it. How would you describe?
Me and You? It's just like it's like a fun love song, and it's kind of like you are viewing your partner as an escape and allowing yourself to be the escape or the vacation that your partner needs. So that's kind of what that was written about. And yeah, it's just being able to take a trip in the comfort of somebody else's home or body.
I guess. Home, body, spirit, mind. Body.
Right.
I like how you play with the looks in this video too, and you've got like the blue on now. What kind of makes you want to play with the hair and try different stuff?
So actually the blue, I do themes. So with Sad For You, my first EP that I dropped, it was pink. So I did that, and then Vacation is blue. So I'm just sticking with the theme of the project. But I did introduce, my natural hair is the big curly hair.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
I was wondering, like, man, she got it all under there. Is it?
Gotta tuck it all in.
So your music's super sexy, pop vibes, R&B vibes. Is this the way you see yourself going? Do you ever see yourself experimenting in other genres and pulling other stuff in?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I come from a rock and roll background. I was in a band when I was 14 to 16, so I've always experimented. And then from then, I started trying to like play around with like alternative R&B pop vibes, and it's just, for me, it's always an experimental process. I think that's like really my favorite part of all of this, is the fact that I get to just be so free in my writing and with my music. So I would not expect me to just like stay in the same lane over and over again.
So you're in a rock band in Chicago, Streamwood, Illinois.
Yeah.
And then what was kind of your big break? Because there is a story with Mac Miller just sort of discovering you, right?
Right.
You.
Right. So I was in the band, and then I ended up quitting the band, leaving the band, and for like a year, I was really confused how I was going to get people's eyes on me to listen to my music. So I was like, I'm just going to do covers on YouTube. So one of the first covers that I put out was a Mac Miller cover, and he ended up seeing it the next day. Wow. And so I ended up getting in contact with one of his best friends who had posted it. And I was like, oh, did Mac see this? And he was like, he did. He thinks it's dope. Pull up to our show. We're coming next week in your area. And then I met them, and it was literally like, he was like, I want to work with you. I started sending him demos, and he was like, yep, you're a part of our crew now. And then ended up signing me by the time I was 20.
That story, I think, just speaks to, and I mean, it makes me sad because it's almost like we didn't get. I don't think that the public got to know him as well as we should have. Like, I feel like since he was lost, we've heard all these stories, people being like, he was just this amazing guy. He was this guy, and I love that he reached out to you and was just like, no, I think you're talented. I want to work with you.
Yeah, I think, and he was never like, his goal was never to be like the biggest artist in the world. Like, he just like. But also, like, I feel like he had a very strong fan base, and everybody who did know him loved him and knew what it was, like, knew what kind of person he was, you know? And I have a very similar story to so many other artists that have met him, that he just embraced people and let them work and really just helped them shine within their own music career, you know? So he's just a good person overall. Like, that's why nobody can say anything bad about that man. Like, he was amazing.
Well, and I mean, you know, obviously that loss still so fresh. Like, he was just nominated for the Grammy, and you know, Ariana was kind of tweeting about that. How are you? How is she? How are you guys doing with that? Because I know he was the way you met, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the grieving process. Anybody that was close to him is just like, all of us are just kind of try to figure out how to move on without having him here, you know? Yeah, like, I was very, very close with him. He was one of my best friends. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to maneuver in this world without having somebody like him in my life when he was kind of like my safety net. So it's just a process. It's a learning process for sure.
And what about the music? Because you worked with him on your music. How has that affected the music that you're working on now?
I think he's left me with so much knowledge. Like, I was kind of like studying him since I was 17 years old. So just watching him work, he's like a frigging musical genius in the studio, plays a bunch of instruments. He's a writer. He can tap into any genre. So, and he's very conceptual with his albums. So me watching that, like, taught me everything I need to know to move forward. And I'm so grateful for that I had such an amazing mentor, you know?
And can I ask, when you guys are doing Thank You Next, I mean, you know, Ariana called him an angel on that song. How did you guys kind of discuss how you wanted to describe Mac in just that one line?
Well, I mean, that's like, there's the only thing you could say about him. He was an angel. It's like, obviously we weren't going to say anything bad about him. He was a great person, and I feel like that's one of the few words we could have used in that song to explain him.
Yeah, well, and I like you calling him your safety net and talking about collaborating with him. I mean, I know he had his issues with substance stuff, and everybody's talked about that. Has that been hard to kind of process, too, like him not being here and knowing what everybody went through with trying to support him and all that?
Wait. Excuse me.
I mean, if he's just the stuff that he went through. I love hearing you say, look, I worked with him, I knew his talents, I loved him, he was my safety net. But obviously, he had his issues. So how hard is that for you in the grieving process? Like, I know people who've dealt with addiction, and it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, addiction, it's a disease, and it's definitely really, really tough. He was very back and forth. Like, a lot of the time, he was really healthy and happy. Like, so I feel like this whole picture of him being toxic or him being this person that was just like a drugged out mess, like, that's just the furthest thing from true. Like, it's just not who he was, and I wouldn't want people to remember him that way, because that's just not the truth. You know, it's just, addiction's a sad thing. It's a back and forth thing. It hits you when you least expect it. Yeah.
Well, I love that he had that influence on you. I love that he's still in your music.
Yeah.
And it just seems like you have this vibe of being in this really good place right now. Like, I don't know, are you kind of on the glow after the Grammys and the acknowledgement that Thank You Next is getting? It's about to be Ariana's biggest album, and now you're releasing your music. Like, is this kind of it feels like a good time in your life, girl?
It is a good time. It's definitely, it's cool to just see good things happen in my career since like I've been working so hard at it since I was literally like 13 years old. So, I mean, any sort of recognition is definitely, I'm just happy that people are starting to see and hear my music. Like, that's just the most exciting part. And I'm just excited to keep spreading my music out all over the world. That's my main goal.
Is it a little nuts when you look at some of the moments you've had lately, like the 7 Rings thing? You guys have told that story, like going to Tiffany's, having some champagne, writing that song. Are you kind of like, is this my life right now?
Yeah, it's just so crazy because that day was really wild. Like, just going to Tiffany's in the morning and getting a ring as a gift for like working on an album, I was like, this is absolutely insane, but thank you very much. I'm not gonna say no to this. So like, but afterwards I was like, okay, we gotta go make a song about this. So we went to the studio, made a song about it, and I really never would have thought it would be this ginormous. Not that I doubted it or anything. It was just like such a fun experience to make the song, and it was just so like lighthearted and fun that day. And now watching it be like, it's at the 3rd week at #1 right now, and it's just like, all right, this is crazy. That was like yesterday, and now it's everywhere, but cool.
From the stories you guys have told, it just seems like this songwriting experience that's sort of unforgettable. Like, I think Ariana just said there were 3 versions of Thank You Next. Like, she kind of kept reworking it.
Yeah, she did keep reworking that song.
What was the story behind that?
There was different ways she wanted to approach it. I mean, it was just a touchy subject, especially because she's talking about like her personal life in the song so vividly. So I think she was just trying to see if she could like tiptoe around it maybe, but she ended up just coming out straight with the facts right away.
She said, let me just say their names.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Which is why I think people got so addicted to that song, because artists don't usually do that. Don't
right,
just
and it's
say it.
Yeah, it's just real.
Yeah. When she suggested that, were you kind of like, bold move, crazy move?
I was like, say the names.
Like, do it. I love it. Do it. So you're launching your first headlining tour.
Yes.
How freaking cool does that feel?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go on tour. Like, I can't even explain how excited I am. I just haven't been out on the road to meet my fans in years. Like, there's just been so much going on in my personal life that like had me kind of like staying here in LA and working. So I'm so thrilled to go out and meet my fans. Like, that's like just the best part right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just perform.
What do you love about being on stage?
It's definitely like an escape, like no pun intended. It is like a little vacation for me. Like, I get on stage and like that's all I can think about is my voice singing and the people I'm connecting with in the audience. Yeah. So it's just like, it's a vibe, like being with people that know your songs and you guys are all there for one reason, and it's just to enjoy music. I think it's just like a beautiful experience that it just doesn't get old for me.
All right, well, tour, that's got to be a box checked, headlining tour. What are your other goals? What do you want to do? Anybody you want to work with or goals you've set for yourself?
Yeah, after tour, I really want to just come back, get in the studio, and release my new project and keep dropping singles, just more music out into the world, continue to play shows, more content, everything. I just like want to keep going at full force and provide experiences for my fans as much as I can.
Love it. And I think rounding out the tour in your hometown, Chicago.
Oh yeah, I'm going on the 28th. Chicago is gonna be, I'm so excited for that.
That's gotta feel good.
The hometown show is gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
All right, we are gonna wrap. Thank you, Njomza, so much. Her EP Vacation is out now. For more info on the tour, tell people where to go for more.
NotNjomza.com/tour if you want the tickets for the tour.